Alright, so today is January 24th, 2014. As you can see, it's pretty dark where I am right now. There's a street light that's giving me a little bit of light on the left side of my face. I'm at work in the parking lot, at work, getting ready to go in for another 12-hour shift on nights. And I just got off the phone a few minutes ago with my brother Cory, who I co-host the Life According to Brothers podcast. And we were just going over a planning session for tomorrow's episode. We're going to record, and it'll be put out Monday. Well, so we were going over some of our ideas for things that we would like to do, and ways to record with a little bit better audio on his side whenever he's not able to make it down, because he lives about an hour and a half away from me. So whenever he can, he makes it down to where I am, so we can record. And then we were talking about a few other ideas, things to do with the podcast, some things to add in to kind of the middle of the show format, kind of break things up just a little bit in the middle and get us somebody. Oh, that's a squad pulling into the ER. So we went over that. And we talked a bit about, some of the logistics on how to do things, and what he would like to do, and some other projects and ideas. You can always submit some ideas to us as well. If you've listened to the podcast, you can leave us comments on the show notes. You can leave us comments on Twitter, Facebook, lots of different ways. So you can go to the website. It's latbpodcast.com, and you can go to the show notes for any one of our episodes. There's a list of them there on the episodes tab. You can always go to latbpodcast.com/1 or /2, 3, 4. Any of those that we have episodes up for already. This episode that we're going to record tomorrow evening, will be episode number 5. And we're going to talk about men and self-expression, kind of how society views men and self-expression, and how we go about expressing ourselves, the different media that we use, whether it's social media or whether it's verbal, audio. Well, I guess verbal and audio can be considered the same thing. It depends on how you're delivering that. Video, and kind of, body language. Because we all know that if a guy says a certain thing, or says it a certain way, or whatever, that it can be interpreted as being feminine. And in general, social norms, according to social norms and how we've been socialized growing up to express ourselves as men, certain things are acceptable and certain things are not, depending on how you want to be viewed by others. It really depends on your social circle. It may be perfectly acceptable in some and maybe not so much in others. Like, you may get beaten up if you are a ballet dancer and you're a boy. In junior high and high school, things like that, they tend to be very judgmental, especially based on your activities, things that you say, the way that you carry yourself, your body posture, things like that, the way that you dress. So we're going to talk about some things like that on the episode number, coming up, episode number 5. And I did do some outlining for an episode for the Exposing Me podcast that I do by myself. And basically in that one, I'm going to talk about transcultural experiences. Because I went on a trip to the Philippines in 2010 in February, and I kept a journal the entire time that I was there. And I kept that journal. I was constantly writing in it whenever possible. And I wrote down the date, the exact time that I was writing it, where I was, what was happening, things like that, and my observations and thoughts. And then I went back afterwards, after the trip, a couple months later, and I put in afterthoughts. and I wrote all that down. It ended up being 96 pages typed. It was about 128 pages just from the handwritten journal that I kept without any afterthoughts or anything else. Just what I wrote from the time that I started that trip to the time that we landed when we got back to the U.S. So I did a lot of that. I have pictures and videos and things like that. So I'm going to kind of make a multimedia type file with pictures and some links to some videos and things like that I'll put up on YouTube from the trip to the Philippines. So you can look forward to that. And I was thinking about either doing a series of blog posts with extracts from that journal and from what I wrote with afterthoughts. I've also thought about doing like a Twitter type thing where I tweet the times and kind of a little bit of what I wrote to kind of have a storyline go along, and people could follow along with that. So I was thinking about doing that. Just another idea. And I also had thought about on the Expose Me podcast reading that journal on there, like reading a portion of it each week, like certain extracts or certain afterthoughts until I get all the way through the journal and have that being a running thing that I do. So that's what I'm going to work on. This is going on almost 7 minutes now. I'm going to let you go, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.